Crypto can be incredibly profitable if you hold the right altcoins, especially right now. With around 6 to 8 months of crypto bull market ahead, holding the right altcoins today could lead to 10, 20, maybe even 30x gains in your crypto portfolio. And that's possible, trust me. But in order to get those gains, you're going to need to do your own research. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 free crypto tools that I personally use to identify different crypto projects that I think are worth investing in. I'm going to show you these tools so that you don't have to rely on me or anyone else out there to tell you what to invest in, because you're going to know exactly where you're going. If you want to become a crypto expert, you're in the right place. Hit the like button. Let's get into today's video. Hey guys, and welcome to the School of Crypto. Unlike my main channel, the House of Crypto, over here we're much more focused towards day trading the crypto markets, as well as tutorial-based content on finding different altcoin gems before everybody else starts talking about them. If that sounds good, make sure you're subscribed, notification bell turned on, so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Now, why do you need to research crypto projects? Why can't you just listen to me or Alex Becker or someone else tell you what to invest in? Well, there's a big problem with that. If I tell you a coin today that sounds good, you're like, wow, Peter, that sounds pretty good. And then you go and invest. And then tomorrow it goes up again. You're like, wow, he knows what he's talking about. Your trust in me is extended. But guess what? If in a couple of days that coin comes down 20%, 30%, like crypto projects can, whether they're good or bad, you're going to be like, well, Peter doesn't really know what he's talking about, and that crypto project is a bad one. You're going to go and sell it. Guess what happens? The next day it goes back up again, and you're like, what on earth is going on? Because you don't have any conviction in any project that you've just bought without any research, it means that you can't make any money without doing research. It's such an essential piece to this puzzle, and most people disregard it. Now, if you want to make some serious money in the bull market ahead, investing a little bit of time in research is going to pay off tenfold in crypto. There's no other industry out there. There's no job, there's no business that you can start that is going to reward you this much for that little work. So just put in a little bit of effort and this is going to pay off big. Now, just before we jump into that first tool, let's just quickly look at what's going on in the overall markets and understand why I'm not adding new trades today. Right now, Bitcoin is running into resistance previously seen back in December, and that's because the M2 money supply is basically having a little bit of a rest period here before continuing higher. This is what will drive the Bitcoin and altcoin bull market hot into the next couple of months. Really aggressive growth expected until sometime in early July. And I think there's going to be a reasonable pullback into sort of July, August. If you want to understand exactly why that is and understand what's going on in the macro behind crypto that really drives the markets, then make sure you check out the video I made yesterday on the House of Crypto. Anyway, all the trades we've been in recently are looking pretty good. Ethereum, big profits. Aptos a little bit slower behind. Sui pumping really nicely, nearly back to all-time highs and nearly at our take profit. Okay, looking pretty good. Doge is pumping, looking good. We can see Trump basically sitting in the red right now. This is our worst performing coin, but still gives us a good entry. The stop loss is down here at 6.23. I do think you could still enter here around 13.29 would be an even better entry than I got. Take profit somewhere around $46. These are like longer term trades. I expect them to play out over the weeks and months ahead. And WorldCoin you can see is also looking good. But ultimately, we don't want to trade today because Bitcoin's at resistance, which means there's a chance it comes back down, but we don't want to jump into a short position because it's a bull market. So continuation is expected. Don't bet against the trend. Go with the trend, okay? The trend is up. We don't want to bet against it. It's just right now is not the best place to be investing into trades. If we break up like this, we come back to retest that previous resistance and support. That gives us our perfect entry here, and we will be taking lots of trades. Okay, so don't worry. Today is not a day we need to trade. We just sit back, we relax, we learn some skills, and we're good to go. Okay, the bit you've been waiting for, the tools, the secret behind what goes on in the House of Crypto. Well, these tools are not going to come in any particular order, okay? But they're all useful. This is CryptoPanic.com. If you're anything like me, you probably go to YouTube in order to go and watch a crypto YouTube video, and 3 hours later you're still watching cat videos. Or if you're going across to Twitter to try and see some different alpha, you've probably gone down the hole and you're reading about conspiracy theories about the disappearance of Avril Lavigne and other things like that. Now that's obviously something I can't really handle because obviously I have work to do and this is not particularly useful. So instead, I cut down my time by being a bit more efficient. If I want to see what's going on in the news in general, I just come across to CryptoPanic.com. CryptoPanic is a useful place where you can see overall kind of market updates into what's happening in crypto. Now, I take all news in crypto with a tiny pinch of salt because it doesn't really have that much of an impact. Ultimately, it's the macro that is driving the markets. Okay, the economy that's underlying is driving crypto up and down. The stuff that happens on top is just news, BS, whatever. But it's nice to know that like Michael Saylor's buying a bit more crypto and Donald Trump's going to do this and whatever else. And if you want to know on an individual coin, so let's say Sui's pumping today and you're like, I want to know why, instead of asking in some random group of people you don't trust or know, you can come across here and you can go Sui and it's going to give you all the latest news on Sui. This is really useful. And before you invest in Sui or Aptos or whatever project, you should be checking out the latest updates to see if there's some good stuff going on. Sui outpacing Solana, more information about Sui's projects being built, listing on Binance, Sui's TVL at $2 billion. These are all positive things, okay? Go and check out the news behind, get the stories about what's happening. Don't hear it regurgitated from me or someone else. Go and read for yourself and have conviction in that project. Now, on the topic of Sui, one that you know if you've been subscribed to my channel over the past few months, nearly a year, I've been holding Sui and I've been really, really bullish on it. Now, why am I so bullish on it? Because lots of people talk about it? No, because fundamentally it's a strong project. How do I know that? Well, looking at the second tool today, which is DeFiLlama.com, gives us a very good insight into what is going on with Sui rather than what I hear about in the news or what I hear about on YouTube. DeFi Llama is one of the best tools out there. It looks a bit technical and a bit weird, but don't worry. What this allows us to do, and we'll use Sui as the example, is to understand what's going on in a blockchain ecosystem. And I know, that sounds boring and intense, but stick with me. A blockchain is like a city, okay? Things are built in cities, and in the cases of blockchains, digital products or decentralized applications are built onto those cities. So let's think about a city for a moment. Somewhere like Dubai right now has huge amounts of development going on. People want to build restaurants there. Everybody's moving there because the apartments are great and the healthcare is great and there's some nice shopping malls and it's safe and the transport system is amazing. This is like a healthy blockchain, lots of good things going for it. It's easy to build on. The transport links are fast or the transaction speeds are fast, all these other things. Another city that's a bit older and maybe a little bit more expensive and slow and difficult to get around, like London, could be compared to maybe the Ethereum, okay? Now, new projects don't really want to build in expensive, difficult ecosystems. They want to come and build in the fast, up-and-coming, healthy kind of environments. And this is why we're seeing such growth from Sui compared to, let's say, Ethereum, etc. So if we look at Sui, you can see the total value locked, or the TVL, is growing. This means all of the different projects that are built on Sui currently have huge volumes of funds being used in staking and lending platforms, being used in exchanges. It means that lots of people are coming to trade here. It means that lots of people are interacting with the city. Dubai has a flourishing ecosystem, unlike London, which is currently going down for lots of reasons that I'm not going to talk about on this channel, but you get the picture, okay? So this is just a way to check on the health of that city. Don't just invest in it because you like the name and the logo. Understand that Sui is going up fundamentally because people are building good products on it that people are using. TVL goes up, Sui goes up. Stablecoin market goes up. Okay, it's going quite strongly. Stablecoin market over the last 7 days has been pretty good. It's doing nearly $1 billion in volume on stablecoins every single day. Okay, some of these projects, Cetus, $284,000 in fees generated in a single day. Pretty good business to have, a decentralized exchange, right? It shows lots of people are trading Sui products and using Sui, okay? Get the picture? Things are looking good. Now, if you can see, many projects will start to see TVL and stuff increase before the price does. Aptos is a very good example of this because the Aptos price is a little bit behind Sui. Very similar project, built using the Move programming language from a similar team that came from basically the same pace as Sui. Sui's team came from Meta's Libra blockchain project. The company that used to be Facebook, the guys who were building their blockchain project went to Aptos and they went to Sui. Sui's just doing a bit better than Aptos right now, but very similar. You can see that Aptos has even bigger stable coins flow than Sui. Very, very positive. Look at the TVL. It's been increasing, looking pretty strong. Obviously, these were highs back in December, but overall looking pretty good. This is very positive, and it shows Aptos is probably heavily undervalued right now, considering all of the stuff that it's got going for it. If you look at Sonic, again, lots of TVL growth, looking very, very healthy. If you come across to the base ecosystem, the Coinbase ecosystem, again, seeing lots of growth. Now, this is obviously if you wanted to invest in individual blockchains and stuff. You obviously can't invest in Base because there's no token. But also, if Base is doing really well, like Dubai, chances are the businesses built on Base are doing well as well. So you can go down below Base and you can go and see some of the projects being built in this ecosystem. If I like real world assets, maybe I'll go down and find real world assets built on Base. This is Aerodrome. This is a good real world asset token on Base. If I click on Aerodrome Finance, I can see the TVL is also starting to pick up. I can see that the market cap is kind of down and not really looking amazing, but starting to recover a little bit better, okay? Go and look at some of these metrics, understand a little bit more about it. And I appreciate this is technical, but people are getting better in crypto. You need to be able to get better than other people because this is the competition. In order for you to make money, you have to try and sell to someone else who knows less than you, who's buying at a higher time than you are. That's how it is, I'm afraid. And if you know more, then you're going to do much better. Okay, so DeFi Llama, absolute monster. On to the next one, banterbubbles.com. Now I use crypto bubbles a lot, but this one's kind of different because it has something else. Now this comes from the Crypto Banter team, which is obviously a competitor of mine, but actually they're all nice guys. I know them quite well. Okay, so obviously a very cool tool that they've built here. And why do I like this one compared to Crypto Bubbles is that it combines this with the newsroom here, so you can have additional news features, kind of like crypto panic. Okay, there's lots of stuff. These are tweets, so yeah, you do risk going down the Twitter rabbit hole, but yeah, useful. This is very good for visualizing what's going on in the market because I can look today and I can see that certain coins out there are looking quite strong while others are a bit weak. Walrus is up today, and I know that Walrus is built on Sui. Okay, I also know that it's a deep-in project, and I know, having looked across crypto today, that various other deep-in projects are doing quite well, which could be an indicator, while the market's looking a bit flat, that deep-in might be about to see some excitement. Now, this is a fairly generic tool and one you might have seen before for various different things, but it's really, really useful. Think about this in crypto. Right now, not that many people are paying attention, okay? Lots of people who were in December are not really in yet. They're not really sure whether or not crypto is going to continue going up because they don't know much. Okay, that's fair. Maybe you've only just come back into the game recently after being scared away over the past few months. It's also fair. This is how the game works. But when everybody is out the market, the best time is to buy. And when everybody is in the market, it's the best time to sell and not buy. Unfortunately, most people do this completely the wrong way around. They buy when everybody's in the market, when the green bubbles are the biggest, and then they sell when the red bubbles are the biggest, when actually is the best day to buy, okay, like it was back on April the 7th of this year. Now, in order to understand how many people are in the market at any given time, either you could just check on how many views I'm getting on my YouTube videos. On a good day over the last few months, I've maybe got like 50 or 60,000 views. Suddenly the market's pumping up. I'm getting like 90 to 100,000 views. I think if the bull market rips, I can get to 150 to 200,000 views. But an easy way to see this is to go to trends.google.com and just go for Bitcoin as a search term. This shows you how many people around the world are looking for Bitcoin over time. Over the past 5 years, lots of people were searching for Bitcoin at the time of bull market tops, okay? This is always the key indicator that you can see back at the November the 10th, 16th of 2024. Search volume was very high for Bitcoin. It's when Bitcoin was at all-time highs. Right now, it's very, very low, which shows it's a good time to be getting into the market rather than getting out of the market. You get out of the market when the spikes are up here rather than down here, okay? You can use this for all sorts of different, like AI crypto. You can see, again, that the spikes basically are the times you want to be selling, and then you want to be starting to buy, you know, when we're down in these lows here. Okay, very, very useful tool. Now on to the next one, and one you've probably seen before, but maybe you've not been using it effectively. This is coinmarketcap.com. Okay, coinmarketcap.com obviously is a very useful tool that shows you what's going on in the markets. And I know when many people go, first things first, the most useful thing about this tool, I think, which you might not have seen before, because I know lots of people ask these questions, is let's say you've come across a crypto project you like Grass, which actually is a good crypto project. You can see down below, it's Grass Markets. It shows you all the exchanges to buy Grass on, should you want to buy it. It shows you what it's called over there. So if I want to go and trade it on MEXC, that's good. If I only have a Coinbase account, I can see that I can't buy Grass. I've got to use another account, okay? So this is a very useful thing. Come down below, there's other information stuff about it. You can see the white paper summary, which is really useful. White paper is basically like the instructions. It shows how that project's working, what it's all about. But how I like to use CoinMarketCap is to understand something. Now, I told you earlier, looking at crypto bubbles or banter bubbles, whatever it was, that you could see different trends were showing by certain coins pumping at different times. And if I look at all these different ones with the different flames, you can see that different narratives are running strong at different times. This is Deepin, for example. And if I click on the last 7 days gains, I can see that there is a number of crypto projects here that are starting to pick up and do really, really well. This is at a time where the search term Deepin is quite quiet, and Deepin's not particularly well known about, but it's a really, really good place to be looking. And there's a very good reason why it's a good place to be looking, as a lot of these projects are yet to get a lot of excitement and focus and interest, because it's not such a well-known term, but a lot of these projects are getting huge volume in terms of their business that they're doing. Just as an example, Aether, a project I've been talking about recently on my channel, if you go to their website, you're going to see something really, really interesting. Now, on the website, and this is another tool that you can use and should use, is the GPU dashboard. Not every website will have a GPU dashboard, but not every crypto is going to appear on DeFi Llama, because DeFi Llama is for DeFi projects like layer ones or whatever. So if you want to check game usage and Deepin projects and whatever, they're not going to be here. Okay. Therefore, you have to go and find it on the websites. And if you can't find it on the websites, maybe not worth investing, because those projects are not doing much. Okay. Aether are very proud of what they're doing, and quite rightly, because their annual revenue is $113 million. Their compute hours delivered, 745 million. So if you don't know too much about the project and how it really works, at least look for the metrics. Look at the data. Okay, the data tells you everything. This project's making $113.6 million a year, and yet the market cap is 430 mil, which means in like 3 or 4 years, they're going to pay off their market cap. Okay, which means that when they make money, they can start to invest it in. So I've been telling people this, despite the fact that the price chart's going down and underperforming while the market's been quiet, all of a sudden it's come back. It's now coin of the day, because guess what? They've been injecting their money, their revenue back into their project. So finding projects that are doing revenue, come across to Coin Market Cap and go through some of the Deepin projects. Some of the other ones I've noticed recently, Hash AI, much smaller market cap, is doing some stuff, but not on the scale of Aether. It's hard to find one that's beating Aether, really. Us is another one, okay? It's a data project. Click on the website. All these projects that are doing useful stuff will tell you why they're being useful. Trusted by over 3 million users. 3 million users are using this. They're adding the extension, and they're sharing their excess data with the network. This data is then used and sold off to different companies, and the people who are providing their excess data and bandwidth are getting rewarded. This is what's making Grass a really valuable project, because it's making money. This is the thing, okay? So many crypto projects don't make anything. They're just vaporware. They're just dreams and hopes and whatever, but they're BS. If a project is really doing something useful, it will tell you on the website what it's doing and how much money it's been making, okay? This is the same across Deepin, it's the same across AI, whatever, okay? You can verify these facts more easily on DeFi Llama, okay? But also Aether, you can go through, you can check a lot of the other details on the site. You can go and see videos, you can go and see who's working for them, etc., and see if they're legit people. Another really useful thing, while we're on the subject of this site, and there are lots of projects like this, it just does it really well, is you can see all these different names here. Now, these are investors. When you come across a new crypto project that you've never heard of, you must try to verify as much of the information they share on their website as possible. These are all investors, Animoca Brands, etc. Maelstrom. I can also make a website, and I can also write lots of stuff on the website that might not be true. So how do I verify that? Well, let's go to another tool quickly, and it's this. This is cryptofundraising.info. Now, this shows you different crypto projects and who invested in them. And this is really useful, right? Because big venture capital funds don't invest in rubbish vaporware projects that often. It does happen, but less often. Aether here, you can see, go down below. This means that what they've written over here with some of these is legit, right? Maelstrom, Animoca Brands as well. Come across your Maelstrom, you've got Animoca Brands, etc. Now, some of these are also huge VCs, really difficult to get people like Hashkey, Merit Circle to invest in your companies. It's like a big badge of trust. It means they're really reliable, worthwhile looking into and investing in potentially, because it ticks a lot of the different boxes. Now, if you come back to CoinMarketCap, you can use it for this as well. Now, this is obviously going to take a little bit more time, but you want to see, like Aether, as we can see, 430 mil market cap. We've just understood a little bit behind why it's got a market cap of that size. It's not huge, really, considering what the market is for this into the future. You need to find out what, like, Aether does, and you can find out other projects around it. Now, Aether provides decentralized compute power for AI. Now, obviously, you can go away and find some information about this particular thing, but I'm just going to cut this short for you. AI compute power is incredibly difficult to find and is very, very expensive, which means if you want to build like ChatGPT or something like that, it's going to cost you lots of money. So you go and use a decentralized compute power provider from like Aether, and this is how you build your platform. And the demand for this is going to 14x by 2030. There's various graphs and images around this, which I will show you in future videos. I just haven't got them right now. And this gives you conviction in what Aether's delivering. Now, if you want to, you can then find another project that's like Aether doing similar things, but much smaller. Hash AI might be one of them. Nuco Cloud, also kind of similar, not doing anything as well or as good, but 4.2 mil market cap. Okay, there's a very good shortcut for you. Some of these are up a lot in the last 7 days, but actually they've only got 4 mil market caps. Okay, go and look into some of these right now, and you probably won't do too far wrong. Now, if we know the projects must be building in areas that are in demand, okay, because lots of people want access to AI compute power to build AI products. Maybe lots of people want to play a mobile game and they have hundreds of thousands of downloads on that mobile game. Great, whatever it is, I don't really care. It just has to show adoption. But the other piece to the puzzle, the reason that meme coins can run up massive price valuations with no utility at all is because of hype and excitement. So if you can find these two things in a project, you will find a winner. I guarantee it. If you can find a project that is actually doing something useful that people want as a service that are willing to pay for, it's pretty good. Okay, and then you can find one that's got the hype and excitement and the curb appeal. Put these two things together, you have a unicorn. Okay, and these things are kind of rare in crypto, but they're not that hard to find, right? So how do you measure the excitement and hype behind a project? Well, Twitter is a good place to start. And while you start over there, make sure you give Peter_THOC a follow, okay? Because this is my new Twitter account. The other one got 70,000 followers. I spent years building it and I lost it to hackers. If anyone works for Twitter, if you work for Twitter, please give me a message on Twitter if you can help me. If you don't work for Twitter, you don't need to give me a message because I won't be able to respond, okay? Not because I'm rude, it's just not enough hours in the day. Now, let's go and look for Aether since we've been talking about Aether. This isn't just a video about Aether, and yes, I do hold Aether, but there's loads of other projects. I don't hold Grass, but Grass is amazing as well, okay? But this is just showing you how the process works. I'm not even following Aether. What am I doing? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to copy this under here, Aether Cloud. Now, if you are building a crypto project that wants to get a lot of hype, you might have a Twitter page or an X page, whatever you want to call it. And this is your information about how many people are interested. Remember, because people will buy crypto projects whether they're making money or not, and this helps the price go up. So we want to have something with curb appeal that's doing something useful. Combine these two factors, great. So we're going to go to the next tool, twitterscore.io, and we're going to paste in that Aether Cloud tab that we just took from Aether. Then we're going to hit search, and it's going to find the Twitter page for us, and it's going to give us a Twitter score, okay, and it's going to show us how this is improving over time. Now, we have lost a few followers over the past year or so, and that's because the price has been fairly flat. But you can see in terms of the influencers and the people who are following it, these are some of the biggest names in crypto. Andrew Kang, okay? Some of these guys, some of the top followers across, Luca Nets, huge names, right? This is a very, very positive thing. It shows that this is a legit Twitter page. If you find new projects, some of them might have 1 million followers, but they might not be getting any kind of like real value here. So this is a very good way to sort of score how well a crypto project is performing. And as well, if you go by followed influencers, I haven't got the pro here, so I can't really see that many, but you can go across to Twitter, in fact, and you can just see that this is also followed by 35 people I follow, okay? So you can see a lot of the different people, by big influencers, are following this project, which means that at some point, this is going to get a shout out, talked about from various people. Yes, I'm talking about this on this video. That's not the point, okay? But over the course of this bull market, it will get talked about more and more. In addition, it's making lots of money and revenue and doing lots of exciting stuff with lots of news events coming through. And the price chart, up until just a few days ago, has been very, very flat. This makes things easy, right? But Aether and lots of other crypto projects have other things that maybe aren't so favorable for them happening over the course of bull markets. And those might be unlocks, where various different tokens are unlocked at different times to investors, can create a little bit of sell pressure, can create some dilution that does scare people off. So the best way to find unlocks is to go to dropstab.com. And here you can search for none other than Aether, okay? Now we come down below, we can see lots of details about this. You can see Aether versus other deep in projects and how it's been performing in the last week or so. In the last week, it's up 51%, whereas Tau Potenza, Render, Filecoin, and Theta aren't really up quite as much. They do different things. Okay, now you can come down below, you can see some of the exchanges that Aether is available on, and some details. But what we want to focus on here is the unlocks. And you can see these are the unlock events. I can see more information about the vesting and other bits here. So you can see the team will be vested for a long time yet. So you can see that the unlock for the team won't happen for the first 212 days. We're pretty safe from there. But there will be an unlock tomorrow of around 2 million Aether tokens. That's not really that much at all. You can see it's just a fraction here, and that's just a few $1,000s. And then you can see other unlocks coming at various different times, 0.01% of total supply, etc. So yes, there's unlocks and things, but now you understand a little bit more about how big the unlocks are. And if you just want to see token unlocks in general, what you can do is you can go and look at this and see upcoming unlocks for various different projects. Now, just a bit of an inside information for you. A lot of the unlocks come at times when VCs, etc. are unlocking. So what happens around that time is those crypto projects will invest in more marketing. They will get people to talk about projects at different times, whatever it is. So around those times, maybe their market makers will start to do some work. Or maybe there's extra marketing goes out, etc. to try and counteract any sell-off that happens because of that. So often, while people think unlocks are devastating, during bull markets, they really have very little effect. And if anything, can be quite positive sometimes because the price can rally up towards those unlocks, which often catches people completely off guard. Other things you can find on drops tab are like stuff like potential airdrops and bits and pieces around there. Okay, I don't know so much about airdrops. I don't deal with that too much. So let me know down below if you want to see me talk more about airdrops and things like that. Okay, other things you can look at, you can see funding rounds, investors, lots of other bits and pieces. Get into these tools, spend some time with them, okay? It's going to really pay off if you do. Now, let's come back across to here and just have a look at some of the different projects. Hash AI, we got up Hash AI here. We can see it's an Ethereum project. I don't know anything about Hash AI. But first things first, what am I going to do? I'm going to copy the contract address. Now, obviously, I'm going to check out the Twitter score. I'm going to check out the data on this project, on the website, etc. But I want to check some other bits. Go to the contract address, and we're going to go to bubblemaps.io. Here, I can paste it in, I can hit enter, and I can see the distribution of the tokens for Hash AI. Now we can see that one of the wallets here holds around 10% of the tokens, which is quite high. This is around 5% of the tokens, but overall not too bad. If you'd looked at Mantra OM in the last few months, you would have seen that one of the wallets was holding like 90% of the supply and probably made Mantra a pretty obvious red flag if you got into it. Okay, so just a very cool thing to be able to look at. If one wallet is holding all the funds, it's not necessarily something you want to invest in because it means that if this person dumps all their tokens, it will dump the entire crypto price incredibly fast, basically rug pulling everyone. Be very cautious of that, okay? Some of these wallets do mean that they're like being vested or whatever, so you'll have to do a little bit more research into it, but it's just a very good quick check for something that is real versus a scam. This looks fairly legit, fairly standard, okay, nothing to be too concerned about. Now, one of the last ones and one of the best, I don't even know if I've done 10, okay, but we've done a lot, and hopefully this has been useful, okay? If it was useful this far, hit the like button if you haven't already. This is glasp.co, one of the tools I use every single day. Add this to Chrome for free. Now what you can do is you can go to YouTube and you can search for your favorite crypto YouTuber. And I know the chances are you're watching like Alex Becker, who obviously likes to call you a retard, and that makes you feel good. But maybe you're watching him for his crypto advice. Now once you've installed Glasp, you can use this tool very effectively. If you come down here, you can see transcript and summary and click on the drop down here, and that's going to give you all of the words that he talked about in this video. Copy it, come across to ChatGPT, paste it in, and ask which altcoins does he talk about. Now, by having all of these tokens available, you can do any one of two different things. Obviously, Alex Becker has big audiences, and if you're able to capture his video very early on and use this tool, you can find out very, very quickly which coins he talks about before everyone else watches that video, and you can go and ape into those coins and wait for everyone else to jump in after you who's not doing your research. Now, obviously, that's not suggested because I'm telling you to research. But you can see here we have a list of all of the different tokens that Alex Becker talks about here. Okay, main ones, he's got AI picks, he's got real world assets, NFTs. Some of these might have names that are a little bit off. Okay, so Destro is actually Destra. it doesn't always pick up exactly how he speaks, because maybe he's not speaking clearly enough, whatever, okay, but whatever. The AI is not picking up exactly what he's saying. So some of them might be a little bit off, but you can get a little bit of confidence in knowing what he's talking about. Now, this kind of goes in hand with what we were talking about earlier about having hype and excitement behind tokens. But this can be a very good clue also to finding out why tokens are pumping. You might not be watching Alex Becker, but maybe you're holding Zig Chain and all of a sudden it starts to pump and you're like, why? You can go and find out from Alex Becker's videos whether he's been talking about it. You can go and find out the catalysts so that you can understand whether or not you should be taking profits or whether just sit back and wait. Now, obviously, once you come across the crypto project and you like the look of it, you can go and look at the website and go and find out more about what they do. Now, most importantly is to go and understand a little bit more about what they are doing and what they might be doing into the future. A light paper is very useful. You can see that this light paper shows us lots of things. Now, I could download this light paper, okay, in a PDF form like this, and I can also check out the roadmap. And I want to check two things while that's currently downloading. Roadmap, I want to see, are they going to be doing interesting and useful things into the future? I want to go and see over the past, if they haven't updated their roadmap yet, whether they've been achieving some of the things they're talking about. If they said that in Q2 of 2024, we want to do this, and you go to their website and they still don't have it ready, then that's probably a bad sign, shows that they're not really doing anything, and that's pretty common across crypto. Now, once we've downloaded this, we can then go back to our friend ChatGPT, drop in the light paper, and say, summarize this as if I was 14 and tell me if it is a potential investment opportunity. Now, ChatGPT doesn't really like to give you investment advice, so it can be a bit funny about that, but it depends how you word it. Now, I say as if you're 14. Why? Because I'm not very technical, okay? Yes, hopefully my reading age is above 14, okay? But this simplifies it to a point at which it's very easy to understand. It takes away all the technicals. If I still can't really understand what it's telling me, then there's a big red flag here, because I don't want to invest in projects that are complicated and too difficult to explain to 14-year-olds. Because most people in crypto won't invest in stuff they don't understand, so be very cautious, okay? Wow. That brings us to the end. Now, guys, there's obviously more tools to talk about, and I will talk about them in future videos. So just make sure you come back for them. Hopefully, you found this useful. It's been very long, I understand, big one, but really, really useful. If you want to learn more and you want to see really behind the curtains and understand how I make my trading decisions, how I'm kind of investing and what coins I'm investing in, literally when I do it, then make sure you join the Moon House. It's linked down below in the description. In this group, not only will you get your condensed news and alpha from our crypto experts shared every single day into bite-sized chunks, but you'll also get various different altcoin alerts talking about the altcoins that I and the other two crypto experts who are working in here full-time are personally buying into. Also, you can see here you can ask different questions that will get answered by myself and the other experts. And each and every week, there's a live Zoom call where you can watch over my shoulder as we conduct the research using all the different tools that we've been talking about. This is probably the most useful group in all of crypto, and many of the people in there are absolutely loving it. You can go across the link down below, which will take you to a Whoop page for the Moon House. Check out some of the reviews there, and if you want, join up. And then you can join along on this journey ahead to be able to maximize your gains in the crypto bull market ahead. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.